It is September 1937, and Sylvan Goldman is standing in the aisle of one of his own Humpty Dumpty grocery stores in Oklahoma City, watching his invention fail in real time. The contraption sits by the door, a folding chair fused to a metal frame, two wire baskets stacked on top for wheels underneath. Goldman had spent his own money building it. He had spent his own pride announcing it. And now, nobody will touch it. Men refuse to push it because it looks that everything else in this story depends on. Goods are heavy, humans are not, and a wheel solves the gap between the two. Fast forward past Rome, where market stalls in the Forum relied on porters and pack animals rather than wheeled carts for customers themselves. Shopping, as an activity you did with your own vehicle, simply did not exist yet. It would not exist for a very, very long time. For most of human history, if you wanted groceries, you carried them. In medieval European markets, from Paris to London to the trading towns of the Hanseatic League, the shopping basket, a woven wicker thing hooked over one arm, was state-of-the-art. It stayed state-of-the-art for roughly 600 years. Think about that for a second. The technology for carrying your own food home from the market barely changed between the 1200s and the 1920s. What finally broke that stalemate wasn't a wheel. It was a business model. In 1916, in Memphis, Tennessee, a grocer named Clarence Saunders opened a store called Piggly Wiggly, and he did something that sounds obvious now and was radical then. He let customers walk the aisles and pick their own products off the shelf instead of handing a list to a clerk behind a counter who fetched everything for them. Piggly Wiggly is often credited as the first self-service grocery store in America, and Saunders patented the layout itself. The turnstile, the aisles, the checkout at the end. This decision seemed small at the time. It was not. Self-service shifted the physical burden of shopping from the clerk's arms to the customer's arms. And for the next 21 years, that burden just kept growing because self-service stores kept getting bigger, and bigger stores meant more product, and more product meant customers filling their handheld baskets, hitting a wall of exhaustion, and leaving. That was the exact wall Sylvan Goldman ran into in Depression-era Oklahoma City. Goldman was the son of Jewish immigrants who'd learned the grocery trade from his father and uncles in Tulsa. By 1934, he and his brother Alfred owned the struggling Humpty Dumpty chain, and by the mid-1930s, Goldman had noticed something simple and expensive. Once a shopper's arms were full or their handbasket was heavy, they stopped shopping, even if the store had more to sell them. In 1936 and in 1937, working with a mechanic in his stores, Goldman started tinkering with a folding wooden chair. He and his employee, Fred Young, mounted a wire basket on the seat, another wire basket underneath, and put wheels on the legs. On May 4th, 1937, Goldman filed a patent application for a combination basket and carriage. 1 month later, on June 4th, 1937, he unveiled it publicly in his stores, with newspaper ads in the Oklahoma City papers promising shoppers a new way to shop with an ease never before known. And it flopped. That was 1937. completely, humiliatingly flopped. Which brings us back to the cold open and Goldman's fix, a fix that had nothing to do with engineering and everything to do with psychology. He hired attractive models, dressed them like ordinary shoppers, and had them push the carts around his stores acting like they loved the experience. Other customers, seeing people who looked confident and unbothered pushing these strange four-wheeled machines, started following suit. Within weeks, the carts were in use across all of Goldman's Humpty Dumpty and Standard Food Market locations. By September 1937, he was showing off the cart at the first ever convention of his Supermarket Institute. And by 1940, 3 years later, a double-decker cart nearly identical to Goldman's design landed on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post, a national symbol almost overnight. Goldman received his formal patent, number 2,196,914, in April 1940. He would go on to become a multi-millionaire off a folding chair with wheels bolted to it. And no, that is not something anyone made up. There was a second turning point coming, and it belonged to a man named Orla Watson, a 50-year-old freelance draftsman working out of Kansas City. Goldman's original cart had one crippling flaw. It had to be folded up and unfolded like a lawn chair, basket by basket, every single time it was stored. In a growing supermarket with hundreds of carts, that ate labor hours and floor space daily. In 1946, Watson designed something different, a cart with a tapered frame and a hinged, one-way swinging rear door so that one cart could slide directly into the back of another, nesting together like Russian dolls. No disassembly required. It's the exact mechanism every shopping cart on Earth still uses today. Watson applied for a patent in 1946. Goldman, sensing a threat to his own business, filed a competing patent for a strikingly similar design in 1948 and undercut Watson's manufacturing prices to squeeze him out of the market. What followed was years of litigation. In 1949, Goldman finally relinquished his claim. Watson was awarded patent number 2,479,530 on August 16, 1949, and the two men settled into an uneasy arrangement. Goldman got manufacturing and licensing rights. Watson got a royalty on every single cart built with his hinge design forever. One hinge, one small, unglamorous swinging door. It is quietly one of the most consequential patents in the history of American retail, and almost nobody outside the industry has ever heard Orla Watson's name. Now for the part of this story that documentaries about shopping carts tend to skip because it isn't cute. The shopping cart's post-war explosion tracked exactly alongside the explosion of American suburbia. Bigger supermarkets, bigger parking lots, bigger everything. And that scale created a problem nobody solved cleanly. What happens to the cart once it leaves the store? Every year, retailers in the United States lose an estimated 1 to 2 million shopping carts to theft or abandonment, and industry estimates have put the annual cost to grocers and big-box retailers well into the hundreds of millions of dollars, between replacement carts and the labor to retrieve stray ones from streets, ditches, and creek beds. Cities have passed cart containment ordinances. Retailers have installed wheel locking systems that trigger an electromagnetic brake if a cart crosses an invisible perimeter around the parking lot. And in a harder truth that rarely makes it into the marketing footage, the shopping cart became, for a significant portion of America's homeless population, one of the only practical ways to transport their entire set of belongings from place to place, a use nobody at Goldman's company ever designed for, and one that turned an object built to sell groceries into a visible symbol of poverty in nearly every major American city. On top of that, thousands of young children are treated in emergency rooms every year in the U.S. alone for shopping cart-related injuries. Tip-overs, falls from the seat, collisions. A risk built into a design where a moving base of steel and groceries is topped with a swiveling child seat several feet off the ground. And in a detail to a homelessness crisis symbol, to a germ-covered public health statistic, to an AI-powered checkout robot, to a tiny icon on every phone on the planet. In the end, the most ordinary object in American retail was invented by a struggling grocer trying to sell more canned goods during the Great Depression, got rejected by the entire shopping public for making men look weak and women look like they were pushing prams, and had to be rescued not by a better design, but by paid actors pretending to enjoy using it. It is, all things considered, a strange amount of human effort and litigation to end up with something you abandon in a parking lot. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling us which part of the shopping cart's history surprised you the most. And make sure to like this